Well, the Chinese government and people are going all out to fight the coronavirus. The authority in Taiwan has been rather reserved, to put it mildly. Instead of anything else, the island promptly suspended face masks exports to the mainland. Some have also used this epidemic to revive Taiwan's repeatedly failed attempt to join the World Health Organization, a sovereign country-only organization. Is there any way one can justify such actions? What are the risks of putting politics before people? Joining me from Taipei is Joanna Lei, a former Taiwan legislator. Joanna, thank you very much for joining us. So let's talk about this decision. A little bit of background here. After reassuring Taiwanese about the supply of face masks, the senior official of Taiwan, Mr. Su Cheng-chang, finally decided last Friday to announce that they were going to temporarily halt exports of face masks from Taiwan to the island. He said, he defended his policy, saying, to save others, we must save ourselves. By the way, as of February the 5th, there are 11 confirmed cases on the island of a population of 24 million. So, Joanna, help us understand this decision. Does it stand on solid ground?
Well, certainly I must emphasize that it does not reflect all the sentiments from the island. Many NPO and NGOs are trying to secure medical supplies from overseas sources to support especially the medical professionals in Wuhan. And as far as I know, a lot of these supplies are en route to Wuhan through Beijing or Shanghai. On the Su Cheng-chang decision, I think to his sort of mild defense, he made the decision when Wuhan went through a lockdown, on or about the time Wuhan went through the lockdown, which signaled to the world that the spread of the virus is at a speed or scale above and beyond previous expectation. His decision, however, triggered a mass hysteria in Taiwan, which deteriorated rapidly in Taiwan, so that now we have gone into a strict rationing system. A local citizen can only buy 2 masks a week, and that has triggered additional mass hysteria for other medical supplies. So Su Cheng-chang's announcement certainly has deteriorated and triggered greatest response in Taiwan to his dismay.
That's rather unfortunate. However, I have noticed 2 contrasts here. First of all, Taiwan, according to the media, only 10 days ago, earlier than that announcement, has decided to donate face masks to Australia, 100,000, according to media reports. They say they were planning to donate. We do not know whether these masks have actually been donated. So that versus what it has decided to do for helping for, you know, the coronavirus outbreak is a rather sharp contrast, Joanna.
Correct. I understand. That is why I try to draw a distinction between the general sentiment from the people, especially from NPO and NGO. As far as I know, more than 1 million face masks and other supplies have gone to China through overseas sources by NPO and NGOs. This is a true reflection of people and how people feel about the coronavirus. The government, on the other hand, did make the decision after the January 23rd Wuhan lockdown. So there is an overreaction, and that overreaction by Su Cheng-chang made a huge hostility across Taiwan Straits among the young people especially, and I think that's extremely unfortunate, and that was something totally avoidable, and Su Cheng-chang had made a very erroneous statement at that time.
Yeah, a second contrast I've also noticed is the kind of outpouring of support, both in words and in action, in terms of donation. As of February the 5th, the governments of 21 countries have donated kind of supplies to China to help China fight this epidemic. In contrast, again, we're not talking about another country, we're talking about a part of, let's say, part of one China. Taiwan, nothing being done, no kind words. Are we expecting too much because of the current political tension between the 2 sides?
Not at all. I think you have every right to expect Taiwan to feel as as strongly as we have responded to tsunami in Southeast Asia or the nuclear crisis in Japan, Taiwan has a lot of people making such donation and actually doing everything they can. However, we are extremely quiet because of the government's response or their government's attitudes and all those social media criticism. People are very quiet in terms of what they're doing to support mainland China. There are a lot of NPO NGOs, mine included, that we're doing everything we can. We're also trying to secure additional production lines for the medical supplies. So we do feel that we are part of the overall chain of defense, and we are also part of the overall family.
That's very nice to hear, and I think it is important that we know that there are people on the island who are showing solidarity, who are doing what they can despite the headlines, the very negative headlines we are seeing. And many thanks to the people who are helping us. I do want to touch upon another very negative headline once again. This time about WHO membership. As I said, Taiwan has repeatedly asked to be a member of the WHO, World Health Organization, which is a sovereign country-only organization. But it has always been able to participate, being, you know, a non-sovereign member, non-sovereign participant, let's say, to all the discussion, and the expertise are being shared. And during this outbreak, it has also been confirmed by authorities both on the mainland and on Taiwan that experts from Taiwan were being included in the information sharing, and they were actually part of an experts team and visited the mainland, including the city of Wuhan. So, Joanna, what do you think is being hyped up there? Are they using this opportunity to gain political points once again?
Well, certainly we have to separate form from substance. In terms of substance, Taiwan has been able to participate. We have experiences in the SARS epidemic and H1N1 epidemic. During those times, Taiwan has worked with mainland China and WHO experts in combating those, and has contributed its medical system and R&D expertise to help provide an overall defense line. However, I believe that the current Thai government does try to increase the visibility of Taiwan's isolation from international organizations. So they have politicized it to an extent. However, the substance still stands. It's very solid. In terms of, or in the face of the virus doesn't recognize passports or borders. No. So Taiwan does have something to contribute, especially in the medical support and research R&D capabilities.
Okay. All right, let me go to our second guest who's joining us on the phone, Dr. Zhong Houtao, researcher at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. Dr. Zhong, how do you look at what has come out of the island? Of course, very much in the headline, the suspension of exports of face masks and the hyping of this so-called WHO membership issue. What is going on there?
I think Madam Tsai just wishes to take the outbreak of this epidemic as a pretext or as a pretending slogan to participate in the WHO. But actually, she is just playing the trick. Since the Taiwan authority is already fully informed about this relevant information. First, the Chinese mainland has been updating the relevant information to Taiwan authorities since the outbreak of this disease. On the other hand, the WHO also informed Taiwan authority about this. Third, the Chinese mainland has been inviting Taiwan experts to participate in this disease control and prevention. So from this, we could find that Taiwan authority is not preventing disease, but actually it is just making use of this disease for its political purpose. That is to extend its international participation, just as Joanna was saying, increase its visibility.
All right. Finally, let me go to Joanna once again. What's the situation with the treatment and the prevention against this virus? Do you feel things are being done in an orderly manner, that there is enough capacity and people are relatively calm?
Well, Taiwan has a fairly solid medical system and research capabilities. However, due to the mismanagement and especially all the signals sent by the government initially, there is a mass hysteria around the whole island. People lined up in different places just for a simple face mask. So I think the island currently, even though it has a good track record, is still quite vulnerable in devising an overall disease control and prevention plan. It is not in place at this point, and people are quite worried at this point.
Do you think Taiwan might need help? Do you think there is any need for anybody, you know, Hong Kong asked for face masks from the mainland for help. Do you think Taiwan could possibly use some of those similar kind of help? Very briefly, Joanna.
Absolutely. People have said to the people in Taiwan that in the past, we import over 100 million face masks from mainland China in the past. So what is this point about not exporting to mainland China? It doesn't make sense at all. The world is linked, and we are very tightly linked to the overall defense line. If we don't work together, we cannot defend ourselves at all.
Basically, if China cannot contain this virus as soon as possible, everybody has...
Taiwan cannot defend itself.
Right, right. Many thanks to Joanna Lei, former Taiwan legislator, and Dr. Zhong Houtao, researcher at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. Many thanks. And that's it for this edition of The Point. With me, Liu Xin. As always, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter using the handle The Point with LX. Download the application called CGTN to watch the show on your mobile devices, or go to YouTube and look for CGTN The Point. Thanks for watching. You've got The Point.